Adam, do you know what really says? It just shouts from the hilltops that you're a freedom fighter that cares about a cause and defending it with everything you got.
What? Tell me. I have to know.
Taking over a building at a college and then demanding that the school give you some chicken nuggies.
Really?
Yeah, give you some little
Oh,
packaged lunches, Is that
I,
nice?
I agree. Look, you have to demand, all freedom fighters have to demand takeout. Okay. you have to negotiate your takeout before you get in there and start fighting for freedom.
That's right. How am I supposed to fight for the freedom and lives of people all across the globe when you didn't bring me sweet and sour sauce with my chicken nuggies? I can't use this barbecue sauce. Give me the sweet and sour.
Exactly. Exactly. So what is this video? Is this about takeout?
So this video is from a few days ago, but we have to cover it because it's just so insanely hilarious. We here at the Sitch and M Show, we love with all of our heart and soul the unfolding drama between Robby and Brianna that just like plays across the internet every day.
Oh yeah.
It's like the will they won't they, only instead of like will they won't they get together, it's like will they won't they break up. Okay. Like the level of I guess respect between the two, I just feel like it breaks down every day further and further. And I feel like we're at a tipping point here. So this was a story. It happened a couple days ago. It was college kids at Columbia, once they took over the building, were like demanding that food either be provided for them or allowed to be provided for them once they illegally seized the building. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And like like Brianna's take on this is so hilarious that Robby has lost like all respect for her. It's so funny. We had to watch this.
Yeah. The internet unanimously chastised this idiot, but Brianna is going to be the sole person out there
Oh
to
my God.
defend her.
I know.
I was like, wow. At this point, I'm starting to wonder, is this real? This is a little like wrestling here. Is this real? Is Brianna just is she a kayfabe villain?
I hope you're right. I honestly hope you're right that this is all just, an act, right? For views.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
pretty good if it is.
let's get into it.
Being derided on the internet from many sides, a protester at Columbia University was pleading for humanitarian aid, except it was for her protesters, not those starving in Gaza. Let's watch.
Why should the university be obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
But you mentioned that there was a request that food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation or get severely ill, even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow basic, I mean, it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
But they did put themselves in that very deliberately, in that situation and in that position. So it seems like you're sort of saying, we want to be revolutionaries, we want to take over this building. Now, would you please bring us food and water?
Nobody's asking them to bring anything. We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian aid.
They're stopping the delivery of food.
We are looking for a commitment from them that they will not stop it
but
violently.
They haven't stopped it yet.
I don't know to what extent it has been attempted, but we're looking for a commitment.
And
The Twitterverse or the Xverse took.
I just first of all, we all have to give our hats off to that reporter. Okay, I should go find that guy's
serious
name.
the whole time.
Like, first of all, how did he say all that things without laughing in that student's face? Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They found the only building on the Columbia campus that doesn't have running water.
Yeah, wait. They're like, listen, we're gonna die of dehydration. There's not a sink somewhere here. No,
Exactly.
we need bottled water. We need alpine water, Adam. We can't drink from the faucet. You crazy?
It's just ridiculous. You got
What
the
happened?
whole building and you got zero running water. Okay.
Yes.
Let me think about this for a minute.
Like, what happened to the days of hunger strikes and, actually, people fighting for a cause? These kids are like, listen, we illegally occupied a building. We
Mhm.
illegally took over this building, but the school should still provide us with, a nutritious lunch. Okay. Obviously.
I,
And can I get a diet Pepsi, please?
it's, it's the worst. It's the worst. Look, the internet got it right this time. They finally got it right.
They
They're like,
did. They did.
these people
Sometimes
are
the internet
idiots.
gets it right.
Yes. But then hold on a second here. Brianna Greyjoy, part of the internet.
hmm
You're thinking, oh, this is so easy, right? Finally something Brianna and Robby are gonna agree on,
hmm
right? That's what you're
hmm
thinking right here.
Well, I
Guess
wasn't
what?
thinking that. I actually wasn't thinking that.
Really? Oh man. I
I
was
saw this
thinking,
and I'm like, no.
look, look, I do admit I thought Brianna's gonna be sensible on this one. There's no
Mhm.
way. There's no way you can defend this crybaby, right?
Right. You even
Okay.
have literally David Frum, who's like super left-wing pro-Biden guy, and he
Hmm.
tweeted this out. He said the revolution will be catered.
That's so true.
Mhm.
We're
So,
just looking for a commitment here that if we drink some water out of the tap, they're not going to come and kill us.
listen, they're gonna spike the water in the building,
Oh
okay?
yeah, of course. Yes,
With
that's exactly what's going to
laxatives.
happen.
Gonna make them run out of the building. Not enough bathrooms in there.
Took notice, starting with Elon Musk himself. So great that the Biden administration is forgiving her student loans. Yay, he said, then did actually remove that tweet afterwards. There was also this from Professor David Bernstein. From the river to the sea, please send KFC. Lol, they can get food and water anytime by leaving the building they are illegally occupying. So there is quite a bit of snark going on. And I actually just saw basically everyone making fun of this person. Very little defense of what she was saying.
Did you see? Do it. You gotta wait.
I know. Look at the look on Brianna's face. Look, I just listened to this. I didn't catch the
Yeah.
reaction. So look, that was priceless. Very little pushback, and Brianna's already like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Wait.
Everyone making fun of very
where's
little
We gotta get to that exact one.
defense of
Oh my God. She's like, I can't believe this motherfucker over here. She's so like mad already.
She is.
Look at that.
I cannot believe this. Man, I used to think Brianna Greyjoy was pretty sensible. I think I might have to rethink that.
You've said
position.
this. You said it on a stream. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's see how this goes.
what she was saying.
Wait, I'm sorry. So you think that Columbia students who pay for a meal plan, should have the meal plan cut off?
I don't think they're under any obligation to feed them while they are.
Wait a
illegally
minute.
occupying
I thought your whole point was
administrative
contract rights.
building.
Contract rights to people who pay like $200,000 a year in tuition, including a meal plan.
Now, I'm sure the meal plan has somewhere in the fine print there that if you're a protester and you take over a building, you don't get free delivery. Come on.
I like that she brings up like, I thought you were in favor of contracts, Robbie. Like, you think that the contracts that whatever contract kids, pay for or sign when they, go to these schools says like, oh, by the way, you can just do whatever the hell you want. We have to keep feeding you and just bending over backwards for you, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
It's
Should have
To have a hand delivered to them while
No.
they're
So
occupying
did
the
you-
administrative
while,
building?
While you were busy making fun of her, did you bother listen to the words that were coming out of her mouth? Because she specifically said she is not asking for food to be brought into her. She wants a commitment that they are not going to block the students from bringing food to themselves, which, by the way, Columbia has been doing. So
Actually, to be clear, she said both. Actually, Ron's wrong. She literally said both. But okay. Either way, it's ridiculous. Even if it's like, oh, we just want food to be allowed to be accessed by us as we illegally occupy your building, please. Until you. So should we just let them, like, should the college just let them occupy that building forever? Like,
No, of
until
course
they
not.
give into their demands or something? Is that what's the play here exactly, Bree?
Tear gas.
Oh, okay.
That's the play. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't go soft on me,
Okay.
Sitch.
Here's the plan. We got it, Adam. We just came up with a plan. the Columbia's like, oh my God, you're so right. We don't want you guys to starve. Here, we're gonna get you a bunch of packed lunches, okay? They get them a bunch of packed lunches, right? They open up the boxes, boom! It's really tear gas sandwich,
That's
bam!
right. That
I'm
is
sorry,
exactly
sleeping
right.
gas. It knocks them all out. They all go,
Oh, that's
oh
good.
no, we've been tricked. Okay. They all fall asleep. The police come in. They wake up in a jail cell. Look, no
That,
violence. Okay.
that
Easy
would be
people.
great. Yeah.
Right.
So that is the question. Should Columbia basically try to starve the students out? And she's completely right. She was so poised and so articulate. She said,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Continue.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's so
Oh,
beautiful. Look how mad Brianna is.
I
Look
know.
how
And look,
mad.
you
She's
just
so pissed.
see his face. He's got this big smile. Oh my God. It's so funny because it was such a like unexpected natural burst of laughter. He literally couldn't control himself.
That laughter has been bottled up inside Robby for 6 months now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I know. She's been so poised, Robby. She's been she was so intelligent and articulate and poised when she asked for chicken nuggies to be delivered to the college when they take over the building. How dare you?
It was so adult-like what she was doing there in front of the microphone.
We gotta go back. We gotta hear this a second time.
to starve the students out. And she's completely right. She was so poised and so articulate. She said,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Continue.
she, in an incredibly poised and articulate manner, explained
Oh my
that this is a
God.
matter of how the community wants to look. Does Columbia want to look like a university that cares more about starving students out who are protesting a genocide that's being paid for with their own tuition dollars? Or do they, at the very least, want to reinstitute the meal plan so that the student community isn't collectively punished, very Israeli of them, collectively punished out of submitting to their political will? Or do, at the very least, want to allow the student protesters to get their own food and bring it in to the people who are occupying the building and other people on campus, which has been blocked. There was another a beautiful viral video of outside.
This is why it's just so absurd. It's so absurd. Like she can't even articulate why this is insane, right? Like she's not even gonna sit there and try to like come up with some argument about why this okay, I understand that every person alive is gonna look at the situation and say students who illegally take over a building and then barricade themselves inside illegally,
Right.
you know, like yeah, the average person say, why would the college whose private property and school is being infringed upon, whose administration is being screwed over, their daily actions as a college is being shut down because of this and disrupted by this. Why should they turn around and then help the people that are screwing them over, right? That's so obviously absurd on its face that everyone laughs at it. And she doesn't even like articulate that and be like, well, actually, let me explain to you what. No, she just like tries to gaslight us and pretend like that's not a thing. Like, oh, I'm not even going to address that.
Yeah, does she even understand why people are laughing at this? And now I'm kind of questioning if she even gets it. Like, is she?
I don't know.
Is she human or is she just like a leftist arguing robot?
Brianna Greyjoy is the first LLM like that is just they put in a bunch of leftist talking points and just spitting out stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Look, I believe she's been to law school because I do
I
feel
believe
like
so,
this
yeah.
is kind of, we've joked around about how, it's the defense attorney, sometimes they know they have a client that's guilty, right? So,
Yeah, Alan Dershowitz talking about O.J. Simpson. Very clearly, he believes
okay,
he's guilty,
yeah.
right?
How is this not the same kind of situation? Like, this woman is so obviously guilty, okay? Guilty. We took over the building and we want a sack lunch. Nobody does that. Nobody says that. Okay?
This is
It's
like
laughable.
it's like when they hold like the people rob the bank and they had the hostages and they're like, you got to give us pizza, and like the police do it because they're gonna like kill the hostages otherwise, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like okay, it's this like okay, what's going on here, Brianna? Like, what are we talking about?
No one's threatening to kill the hostages.
No.
Yes.
Kids passing food through the bars in the university, the gate that has been closed, and as they were being denied access to feed their community members inside. They're not wanting for food, and they're able to take care of themselves. What they want to know is that whether or not the university is going to try to punish them by starving them, again, much like Israel did for months and is continuing to do with the people of Palestine, in order to win a political fight.
I guess it's.
I mean, I guess it does make sense that this is really like shows us a lot about her worldview. If she doesn't understand why it's absurd that a college would allow food to go to students that are disrupting the entire college, that illegally, right? She doesn't see that that's absurd. It makes sense that she doesn't see why it would make sense that Israel has a blockade against, Gaza when Hamas is using all the resources to build weapons and attack them, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it makes perfect sense that she doesn't understand what's going on here.
Good point.
Speaks to how divided this country is, how divided we are. I think a lot of Americans are going to see this as more rich entitlement from elite college campus students who want to face no opposition to taking over a public building.
So obviously, whoever works at the Rising that does the chyrons is not on Rihanna's side. You see, it says Columbia protesters : give us food! Exclamation mark.
No, I know. They know what's up.
Face
What do you mean
no
face
opposition? Demand food, and then they're going
They
to all
can't
get
demand
expelled,
food.
and then we're going to have
Robby,
to pay
why
their
do-
student
what?
loans afterward.
Robby,
The
why do you
American
keep
people will
lying?
pay.
You just
for
said
this.
that they're demanding being brought food. They literally are
You
not.
said it's the meal plan. You said they're entitled to the food. Isn't that what you were
They
saying?
paid for the food. They paid for a meal plan.
Do they pay to have it delivered?
They're not asking for it to be delivered. So why do you keep saying that?
Then
That's
why
a
do you
lie.
keep saying they paid for the meal plan? What does that have to do with anything?
They're-
They can go to the cafeteria and get their food then.
They can't. That's what they're saying.
Right, because of their actions,
No.
not because of the university, because they're occupying a building illegally.
No,
How is this conversation happening? How is this happening, Adam? They can't use their meal plan because if they leave the building, they get arrested. It's so clear. It all makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, they are essentially asking to be able to leave and get the food and come back. So.
Or to have a third party
Deliver food, yeah.
shuttle food for them, right? Which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I just is the college preventing them from getting food from other people? It didn't seem like the college would be like, oh yeah, don't let them have any food. So
I don't even know because that's not even what she was saying. She's just saying that they wanted a commitment that they wouldn't stop them, right?
That is part of what's hilarious about it. Because the reporter asks in the middle of it, well, are they denying you food? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, so then why are you even talking about this? Well, we're a little scared. We're a little scared we're not going to get any food.
Listen, these kids, this is some rookie shit, okay?
Right.
If the school wasn't allowing them food, okay? These are all kids at an Ivy League school, costs a lot of money to go here. You're telling me none of these kids can go out there and buy a drone?
Oh, of course. And just have it delivered.
Yeah,
have it delivered
exactly.
to the roof.
That would be great publicity for their cause. They have like a bunch of little drones like dropping like bag lunches on the roof of the building.
It'd be great.
And the media will be talking about like students are using drones to deliver them food at the sit-in. Like there you go. Look, put me in, coach. I'm ready.
I guess Brianna missed the part where she said she doesn't know if they've been preventing people from getting food, because Brianna's totally spinning this around as if the college is in there actively preventing any food from being delivered. Like they're doing a literal embargo on the building.
I mean, you're right. And it's funny because they should, but you're right. I
don't know that they are. That's why, look, this is why this clip is so ridiculous. Halfway through the clip, they ask, well, are you having trouble getting food? Well, no, we just want a commitment that if we decide to do that later in the future, when we're actually hungry, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. And then you have Brianna just saying, oh, this is so smart and intelligent and articulate. Oh my God. Thinking ahead, solving problems before they even come into play. Well, look, it looks to me, and I think to most people looking at this situation, it looks like they're trying to play up their victimhood status. Oh, look, they won't even give us any food. Well, have they prevented you from getting any food? No, but they might.
Mm-hmm.
It's so silly.
Because they're occupying a building illegally.
No, the university decided to shut down the cafeteria, just like the university decided to go to.
It decided to shut down
Did they shut down the cafeteria? Because
They did, but
no one was there.
Yeah, well, because they closed campus, because they had to close campus because of this. Because of this going on, they closed the campus.
See,
yes.
Brianna's just an unreliable protagonist at this point, because
right.
I have no idea what's going on in this situation from this reporting. This is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So they closed down the cafeteria because they closed down the campus. They're
Yes.
like, everyone's got to leave. And they're like, what about our food plan?
Well, it's just sucks for like
we're hungry.
If Brianna was going to be like sincere here, like the people who you could actually care about are the not the a-hole students in the building, but the normal students who were counting on being able to go and get food normally and suddenly can't because these a-holes are in this building.
Wow, it's just like the Palestinian people and Hamas.
There you go. Listen.
The a-holes fucking it up for everyone.
That's right, Adam. These kids that took over this building
they are Hamas.
For this, they are Hamas. That's right.
They are. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some Israeli hostages in there.
I bet they do.
They do. They probably do, don't they?
They probably do.
Because the protests they did.
As a strategy, they impeded the students' ability to come. First of all, okay, so there's a couple of things here. One of the things that was being reported, which you were corrected by a guest earlier this week, was that they had shut down classes, right? They had shut down classes. Now everything has to be remote. That's not true. They gave people the option of going remote. But that narrative has been used to say, oh, the kids are making it worse for all the other Columbia students. Now the university has chosen to end the meal plan. So again, it can use this narrative that says, oh, these protests are making it so that we can't provide all these other services when it's a university choice. And you are buying right into it, siding with the corporation against the students and faculty who overwhelmingly simply want this to end by the university divesting from using educational funds to invest in weapons manufacturing that is being used to kill tens of thousands of people in Gaza.
You're exactly right. The parallels here are so stark. It's Israel is choosing to do these checkpoints. They have it's not like they're addressing any kind of security threat. It's not like they're responding to something that's going on. They're choosing to do this. They're just choosing to close down the cafeteria, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though there was a Twitter note that said, under the video of this girl that claimed that according to Columbia, the campus dining was never closed or was not closed at the time. So I don't know. So maybe it was closed temporarily or something, but
exactly. Just like the reporter asked, well, have they closed down the food plan? Well, I don't know. We just want a commitment.
Right.
Since they're going to be open 24 hours, since we're going to be protesting 24 hours.
That's what this is all about. So if you think that the young woman who's standing there making a moral case that the university should not punish students for trying to have control over where their money goes and whether it funds a genocide by starving them out of the building,
where my money goes.
if you think she's the one that looks ridiculous.
It's so annoying. People do. She does this all the time, and people do this all the time, where they jump the issue. Okay, because the question isn't like, it's not like these kids are just like, oh, we're standing in an area that the school's, that's not disrupting anyone. And we're saying, hey, school, we think you should divest from Israel, right? No, they're literally occupying a building, causing the campus to get shut down. It's not like it's the action that's the problem that they're doing. That's why they're getting punished. It's not the cause that's getting punished. And Brown would accept this if you're in a conversation, like, well, wait a minute. Like, you're just acting like all that matters is the cause. I'm assuming, Brown, you would say that those kids should not be able to get guns and go into the homes of the administrators and take them hostage and make their demands, right? You would agree that that's ridiculous, right? And she would say, yeah, I don't agree with that. It's like, okay. So you understand that there's some kind of line here about like what actions people do matters. It's not just about whatever cause they're doing it for.
Yeah, this is the lesser form of hostage taking, obviously. If they're taking over a building where classes are supposed to take place and the other students who are not interested in the protest are losing their class time, that's obviously like taking hostages.
Hmm.
That's
And also,
Why do you keep
I just listened to the clip again too. The first answer she does give is that she thinks the school should provide lunches. She says, the school's obligated to provide food to us because we pay for a meal plan. She does say that directly.
Okay.
So,
students for trying to have control over where their money goes and whether it funds a genocide by
I would like
starving them out of
control
the
over where
building?
my money goes.
If you
I'm
think
gonna end up
she's the
paying
one
her
that looks
student
ridiculous.
loan debts.
Why do you keep saying that too? You know very well that student loan debts aren't getting canceled.
Actually, Biden just announced today this is great time, fantastic timing from the administration. Today, my administration is approving $6.1 billion in student debt cancellation for 317,000 borrowers who attended the art institutes.
Oh, so not her. So you're lying again. So not her. So not a
Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. She's
Yeah.
a liar.
So is her argument that because that specific student loan debt relief does not apply to this student that he's lying? Is that the argument that she's making?
What are the other lies too? Because she said you're lying again.
Well, she said that she claimed he
always
was
lie."
lying about what she said about the food, but she's just wrong because that is what the student said. Both things. She said she wanted the food should be provided by the school, and then also after that, then she said, well, maybe we can just get it right.
She means all the things she says are lies.
I guess, but obviously now this is so bad faith because obviously when Robby or someone says like, oh, and then they're gonna try to pay off these or they're gonna pay these student loans. Okay, obviously they're not talking about they're paying literally these student loans off because they're still, they're not even out of college yet. He's talking about the idea that all this should be like student loan forgiveness going forward in the future, and would these group of people would be obviously in that group of kids that would be up for, student loan forgiveness.
Right. It's just the Art Institute kids today, but tomorrow it's these Palestinian protesters.
There you go. There you go.
A Columbia student. Okay. For even in the best case scenario, as people who actually listened and followed this debate and had a sincere investment in wondering what was happening would know, even under the best case scenario of Biden's own original program, only people who earned less than $25,000 a year got student loan debt canceled. And even then, it was only $10,000 unless you were a Pell Grant recipient, some of the poorest students in the country who then got $20,000 of their loans canceled. If this woman is indeed an elite and a rich person and all of those kinds of things, then she would not have been eligible for the program. Point blank, period. So the question is, why do you keep deflecting and not want to talk about the question of whether or not a university should be in a position where it's trying to starve its kids out instead of coming to the table and actually talking to them about their fight to divest from a state that's committing a genocide halfway across the world with their money?
I think I've said how I feel about them, and people can make their own determination. But while some universities have...
I love it. I love it. Just like,
Yeah.
not even going to address it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's good. He did the right thing there.
Well,
He
it's just,
did.
and also, yeah, because I mean, I'm assuming that she's correct that the specific loans that he brought up, they don't apply to whatever the situation is. But it is like ridiculous to pretend like this hasn't been a massive thing that Biden has tried to do and that a lot of people on the left have been pushing for. I'm assuming even her about this student debt forgiveness, like for
Yeah.
everyone.
have had riot officers arresting pro-Palestinian protesters last night. Others were able to avert the violence, largely thanks to deals negotiated with the protesters. For example, Northwestern administrators announced a deal late Monday that would curb protest activity in return for new advisory committee on university investments, an agreement to support visiting Palestinian faculty and students at risk, providing funding for 2 faculty members for 2 years, and the full cost of attendance for 5 Palestinian undergraduates. There was also Brown University's corporate board agreeing to vote on a proposal to divest from Israeli interests in exchange for the students ceasing demonstrations.
The agreements are drawing criticism from both sides. Some pro-Palestine protesters condemn the agreement as a failure to stay strong on their original demands. One frequent collaborator with Northwestern's Student for Justice in Palestine, Kayla Uchoa, wrote on Instagram, "Please don't inflate your wins. Just be honest, be transparent. Admit when you don't have the strategy and willpower to hold down and take risks."
On the other side, conservative influencer Marina Medvin tweeted in response to the news, quote, "It's important to reward the worst of behavior to make sure you get more and more of it. Great ad for Northwestern." Bill Ackman, the billionaire and CEO of Pershing Square, wrote, quote, "Incentives drive all human behavior. When you reward protesters who violate universities' codes of conduct and the law, you will get more protests and more bad behavior in the future."
Moral hazard. Plain
Well,
and simple.
Yeah, and I mean, and this is part of the problem with why these protesters are like, the protesters being so horrible because you don't want to like support anything emotionally and intuitively. You just don't want to support anything that they support. But I actually think it's pretty reasonable for kids to say, I don't want colleges investing in weapons manufacturing. I mean, I don't even know what the claim is, but if it's true that Columbia or any college has some money involved in like weapons manufacturing for anywhere, I mean, just who cares about Israel? I mean, that's kind of weird, right?
I mean,
I don't
someone's
know
got
if
to
it's
make the weapons, right?
not colleges. I mean, so I don't even have a problem with it. I think that's a completely legitimate thing to be like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't want colleges investing money in like making weapons. Like that's totally fine, you know. But gotta get tied it like not tied into all this other nonsense.
Where do you think nuclear research takes place?
Yeah, but they're not doing it to blow people up.
Okay.
They're doing it for energy, Adam. I mean,
Oh,
nowadays,
yeah.
I don't think
Oh,
they need
sure.
more nuclear research for bombs.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think this is a case in point. I think Wesleyan is the best example of a college that's really come to the table. Brown, I think there's a real concern here that because the vote is punted down, I think, into the fall, that it could be a ruse to simply push past this moment and deflate the movement energy that's happening right now. To offer something that's not going to manifest for quite some time. But I think it really is a testament to how universities can make different kinds of choices. And whereas some universities have simply said, yeah, let's come to the table and talk about divestment, Columbia University has chosen to try to starve its students out and to call the full force of the New York police force to assault them, as we saw in really gripping footage from last night. And some people are going to think that it's the protesters that look bad when they are advocating for not being starved. And some people are going to think that it's the university that has egg on its face and potentially blood on its hands.
Well, some of us think the university looks bad and the protesters look bad and the police response is worrisome, and the effort to crack down on dissent that will happen at the administrative level and the legal level is the biggest thing to be wary of, but that's not going to stop me from making fun of some of the protesters. So more rising right after this.
Gosh, she's so angry.
I know. She's seething.
So angry.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
But
How long has this show got, do you think?
How can you do a job that you just... I mean, I honestly hope that it's just kayfabe. I hope it's just an act because, oh, man. Talk about hostile work environment, right?
I mean, I'm hoping that it goes on forever.
Hi, you just listened to a Sitch and Adam recorded video. That's right, we're still doing recorded videos. And of course, we're still doing our live streams. Our Sunday live stream begins at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And our daily live streams start at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Come check it out. You're gonna love it. Subscribe to this channel right here to watch the live show or watch more of our awesome deep dive videos.